Hello and welcome to Girls with Goals. I'm Rebecca O'Keefe and I am joined by two pretty fine females today. One of them you may recognise, I've kind of stolen her seat, Niamh Maher.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How does it feel to be on this side of the couch,
Yeah,
Niamh?
it feels relaxing. I'm excited to be sitting here and not present. So yeah, I feel good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Girls
And
with
then we
Goals.
have Lucy McPhail, who is the CEO and founder of Fetch Beauty, which I will be shamelessly plugging throughout the show because I am a super fan.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. So to kick off, and I know you're going to hate this, we're going to play our game. It's called 6 Words or Less, and you basically describe yourself in 6 words or less so our listeners can get to know you a little bit better. So who wants to kick off? It's been a while since you've done this now,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
been a while. Yeah, so I suppose any fans of the show or whatever, if you don't know anything about me, I'll just give you 6 words or less. So, too tired to present today, thanks.
Nice. Cheap shot.
Yay! So I didn't have to describe myself at all.
Lucy?
Okay, so I would say independent girl boss comes with dog.
Excellent.
Oh, it's so much
what
better
kind of
than
dog do you
mine.
have?
I have a Ruby Cavalier King Charles called Teddy.
Teddy.
He's one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's
God,
so good.
We're dog people.
We're dog people, yeah.
Yeah.
When they're one, are they still puppies?
Yeah,
Kind
he
of.
still is. Yeah, yeah, bless him. He's lovely company, but he's still really, really bold. So.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he bold or is he just spoiled?
He's
though?
just spoiled and cute.
Yeah.
I am like.
I feel like you're the kind of person who has like a bedroom for their dog with
I
all
know,
the bits.
yeah.
I'm a bit like
You have
I have
to
my
have his little
dog's name
bits, yeah.
tattooed on me. So
I know. I
yeah.
just love them, and I'm always wary of people who don't like dogs. I'm sorry. So.
Yeah, I would be of the same ilk. I don't really, like, how can you not
Love them.
love
Yeah.
a dog? Like, we're not, I don't think we deserve them.
Yeah, they're not like cats.
unconditional love.
They're not like cats whereby I feel like people are like, I'm very indifferent to cats.
Yeah.
They don't scream love me. Whereas dogs, like you said, all they want is to be loved.
And you know what? I read some. They actually love it when you talk to them. Like they really love it when you engage with them.
Do they understand?
Not at all.
They just like the sound of your
Yeah,
voice.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that sums me up basically.
Excellent. So I want to talk a bit about your career because it's been pretty impressive. I know that from stalking you on LinkedIn over the last few days. So could you just tell us like where you started, how you got into the beauty industry,
Sure.
and where you're at now?
Sure. So I suppose I went to UCD. I have a master's in history, which is absolutely unrelated to anything that I do now. But I suppose I always had this kind of curiosity for learning and things like that. So, but ultimately, I was obsessed with Jennifer Aniston and Friends and wanted to be a buyer. And that's literally So I worked in Arnott's while I was doing my masters, and then I did everything I could to get into the buying office there, and then worked my way up to different levels of buying in different places, and then eventually always in fashion, and then ended up in London working for Harrods.
Deadly.
And then I was women's wear buyer there, and then I moved into beauty, and I just fell in love with the beauty industry and everything that kind of Creams and Dreams has to offer.
Yeah.
So I suppose, I've always been in retail, I've always been in sales. I love stuff. You could throw me anywhere and I can get excited about something.
Yeah.
You know, I love learning about new things and so I'd say I'm just kind of like a retailer at heart, but I just, I've, such a deep interest in things like beauty and anti-aging and aesthetics. And so I suppose that's kind of how I ended up in beauty at Harrods, and then obviously starting my own business in that industry.
And how did Fetch come about? Like you went from buying in Harrods to setting up your own business? Like what, was that always the goal, or did it just kind of happen, right place, right time?
Yeah, I suppose part of my role at Harrods was kind of looking after special projects, and one that I did was opening a new department, and I spent about 1.5 years on that. It was kind of an aesthetics department there, so I learned all about doctors and dermatologists and all of that kind of thing, and then that department opened, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, I don't own Harrods, so there you go, guys.
All the effort, but none of the reward.
No, and it's not that.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. Like I adore Harrods. Some of my best friends are still there.
It's a great store.
It's a fabulous place, and they're wonderful to work for. But yeah, and then I kind of just had this kind of need inside me to create something else.
Yeah.
And I saw that there was a white space in the beauty industry online for content first, retail second sort of platform.
Yeah.
And then also our products are on the luxury high end, so we only work with niche brands. So they're usually driven by doctors and dermatologists. so they're very, very specialized, but they also come with a lot of research and development behind them. And that's just an area of the industry that I'm a little bit obsessed with. So and so the idea for Fetch came from that. So so it's been nearly 2 years now.
It's a bit of a leap, isn't it, as well, though?
Yeah.
Did you name it after Mean Girls?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But
Did
not
you really?
Yeah, 100%. But not because it was not in a Mean Girls way. It was more because it was more like stop trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah.
And I am trying to make fetch happen. So that's kind of it.
I love that. I never made that connection.
Yeah. Not a lot of people do.
I didn't.
Not a lot of people do. So
I thought honestly I was thinking more like fetch as in fetch me some beauty.
Fetch some beauty, okay.
Yeah. And
or maybe dog related.
Yeah, and that's the thing is also kind of
now that we
it's
know
just
you
like
more.
the perfect word for me. No,
Yeah.
I mean it's like anything. What does Google mean? What does anything? So it was just more of I was working on this project and I really wanted to make it happen, and then it just stopped trying to make fetch happen, and I was like, oh well, we've made it happen. So
So coming from a buying perspective, you obviously got a really good grasp on trends. I feel like that's a huge part. Do you know what's kind of hot right now? I hate that turn of phrase, wow. But like what are people really buying into at the moment in terms of beauty?
Yeah, I suppose I can really only speak from a skincare perspective because that's where I spend most of my time kind of learning. So yes, there's trends in beauty for sure. There's trends in what people buy. But it's not dissimilar to like, catwalk fashion all the way down to your high street.
Yeah.
So I spend a lot of time with doctors, dermatologists, surgeons kind of researching what they're doing. And a lot of the trends in skincare come from the trends in surgery and aesthetics. So, for example, things like, lip fillers, all of a sudden now you have products that do that
job.
You have, there's been, so much around things like SPF and pigmentation. And then that starts off in surgeries or in aesthetic clinics with different sorts of lasers and all of that. And then that all of a sudden trickles down to different sorts of products that do all sorts of different kind of exfoliation and vitamin C products and all of that. So everything kind of starts with that in-clinic research that's scientific, and then it just trickles down.
So people kind of want the like aesthetic effect without the needles and the
and they don't even know that they're buying into that. They don't know that the original idea for that product came from a doctor or a dermatologist or something like that. And I just find that incredibly interesting. I love intelligent people and learning, and I'm just kind of a little bit obsessed with that. But also, the interesting thing about aesthetics and doctors and the beauty industry is that everybody has a different idea of what beauty means to them. Yeah. And you could go and see one doctor and say, what do I need done? And they'll say this, this, and this. And then somebody else will say, oh, you only need this. It's in the eye of the beholder. So in the eye of the beholder. So that's the kind of part that I find really interesting. And then that kind of translates into the trends that we're buying.
Yeah.
It is all kind of like youth based though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
As well. As in like I find it so interesting over the last few days, that face app that's come out where people are like taking that picture of themselves, and it's probably the most realistic.
It's very real.
Turning yourself into an old person, and I'm actually surprised about the amount of people who, because on that app as well, I don't know if you saw it on my Instagram, but there is a young option.
Yes.
And I was like,
the young option makes you look like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like it just makes your eyes bigger.
You do look anime, and they kind of shave your jaw as well.
Yeah.
But the old app version, like I've been seeing a lot of women posting about it and just being like, holy Christ alive, like I look like my grandmother and all this stuff. It's making people like 70, 80. But in terms of like beauty, youth is definitely like the kind of the goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it has been really for generations.
Always. No one wants to look older.
No, but it is, but it shouldn't. Like, I mean, the thing is with Fetch Beauty is we don't have an anti-aging category.
No.
Right.
We have a skin goals category. And that's something that I picked
nice.
up off one of a colleague in London. He was saying, he's quite a well-known aesthetic doctor, and he was saying, people don't come in anymore and they're like, I just want to look younger.
Yeah.
They're like, I want to look less tired.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to be like the best version
I
of
want to
myself.
look less angry. And when they're saying angry, they're talking about the lines here.
Yeah.
So it's that's it, and it's more like it's an emotion that you're going for.
So you don't want to look 18 necessarily, but you just want to look a little bit fresher and maybe a little bit less tired.
Exactly.
Less,
and then
I
when you do go down, and I'm not like I haven't had like tons of work done or anything. I just find it really interesting. But it's when you do get something done, and somebody or friend, they've got something done, and somebody goes, oh my God, you look great. You had good
That's
night's
what
sleep.
you want. Yeah.
Not like, oh my God, you look 21.
Yeah.
And you're
Look
like,
who's had work done.
yeah,
It's true. It is just like that little kind
Subtle
of
judge.
yeah.
subtle judge.
Yeah,
But
for
it's great
sure.
that products are now like, I suppose not necessarily like targeting that.
Yeah.
But it's good that like it's coming from clinicians and stuff like that who are
Yeah.
like, this is what women, more so women, I would say,
Yeah,
than
for
men
sure.
are looking for when it comes to their skincare and
Yeah.
beauty range. Because we obviously all want to do it in a natural way as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's just speaking for myself.
Yeah, I'd like to
Yeah.
avoid needles if possible.
Yeah.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
if there's a cream or, you know, a serum that can do 70% of the job for me.
Yeah,
I'm
and
a
you
buy
will
into
find
it.
that there's less and less products on the market that's like reverse the signs of victory.
Yeah, because you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
It's not like
Do you know what I
literally
mean?
it's not possible.
It's like you can't turn back time.
Yeah.
But it's more about like improving texture, improving tone, you know,
Yeah.
increasing collagen, all of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of, and we're so much more educated now. So I would say one of the biggest trends in skincare is just that kind of pushing the ingredient forward, and actually, you know, people talk about, you know, ingredients in a way that they never would have done before.
Yeah.
Like, you know, consumers are
Smarter.
so well educated, and beauty is an incredible category for self-education, I think,
Yeah.
more than anything else.
Yeah, there's also like a want to learn more, because like I don't buy beauty products that often, but when I do, like I go to Rebecca. That's like the person that I would go
Yeah.
to when it comes to beauty, obviously beauty editor.
Yeah.
But I remember I was buying like a retinol thing online,
God,
and I
yeah.
had never bought retinol before, and there was like different
Percentages.
there was different
Levels,
percentages, there was different categories, and I literally like, I just wanted it just to try it, but also I like sat down beside Becca and I was like, okay, you know, what will this do? And she's like, well, this will burn your face off, don't use
Yes.
that, this
Yeah.
will do this. So
Neve
there
was
is
going for the higher percentages, like you're
I
not
was just
that
like, more
bad.
and more and more. But at the same time, like, you taught me something and I wanted to learn more about
Yeah.
like, it was definitely a buzzword as
You
well.
hear these buzzwords and you're like, should I be using that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like my mum will come home once or twice a week and be like, so I heard this word on the radio and I'm just wondering if I should be putting it on my face. And I'm like,
100%,
sure,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Do you
know?
find that people ask you all these,
Yeah.
like, because you're a beauty editor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that
I'm
makes
a
sense,
I'm a beauty editor, but I'm not like a dermatologist. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
all the knowledge at all. But I, like you said, I'm constantly learning as I
Yeah.
go. Like
Yeah.
every product that gets sent to me, I learn something new.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to figure it out as well.
But like one thing is, so like we're a totally independent business, so we buy every product that we sell.
Yeah.
So it has
You
to be
have to
good.
believe in
it's,
it.
it's our
Yeah.
money. But one thing I will say is I have burnt my face
Yeah.
with certain products and overusing them,
Yeah.
and you know, you get some incredible stuff sent to you, like particularly some retinol products or some such certain things
Peels
like
and
that.
stuff like-
peels,
yeah.
and like you stupidly use them 2 days in a row, and you're like, Mom, why's my
Why
face
is my
burn off?"
face? Yeah.
Now, that would scare me a little bit now, yeah.
And which is why it's important to try every product and actually tell people how to use it, because
yeah.
like you can do not massive danger, but you know,
It's
some
your
of-
face.
It's your face.
At the end of the day, it's kind of all you've got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
people see it.
People see
Yeah.
it.
See
it straight away.
It's your first impression.
Yeah.
I remember once I got microdermabrasion on my face, way younger than I should have been to get microdermabrasion. I think I was
Microdermabrasion.
22, and I looked like I had been mauled by an
Yeah.
animal. It still haunts me. Haven't touched it since. I can still remember I had a Christmas party to go to, and I had to buy pan stick, like that really thick, dense pan stick.
Like
Yeah.
that stage makeup stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like I was like cementing my face to
Oh,
cover
God.
it.
It's
Was
like-
it worth it though? Did it do the job?
No, it was horrendous. I had like
like
a reaction to it
It's
because
like
it was
the
so intense.
Samantha in Sex and the City
When
with
she gets the peel,
yeah,
the glycolic peel.
She can't move her face. She's like
Yeah.
this.
And it's all just like raw. It looks like she's been burned alive.
Yeah, but that is one thing that in that episode, she doesn't suggest the peel, the doctor does, and that's one thing I would always say to anybody who's going to get anything done is don't let them tell you what you need.
Yeah.
You know, you have to say to them, oh, I've got this mark here, or I look a bit tired, or don't go to somebody like a doctor or no matter who it is and say, so what would you do?
Yeah.
Because you have to remember that at the end of the day, if you've got pain or it's, you know, you've got a side effect, you have to be like, you chose to do this.
Yeah.
It's such a good
You know?
point, because like you don't want to go into a facial and like come out with a boob job, and I
Yeah.
get pressured in like Boojum. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like when I go into Boojum, I just freak out. I get anxiety straight away, and the minute they ask like, "What do you want?" I'm just like, "What do
panic.
you think I should
Yeah.
have?" And
What's
then
good here?
Yeah, and I wanted like, you know, I would want a burrito. I come out with like a box with a bunch of chorizo in it. I don't eat chorizo. Do you know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
way? So I would be heavily influenced. So that's a really
Yeah.
good tip to just
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
don't go to
Because
Boojum.
you also just take it as like, oh, they're the experts, they'll know.
Yeah.
It's like maybe they don't necessarily, because you know your own skin. Like, I've been putting stuff. I know I could tell you what I wouldn't put near my skin because I have sensitive skin.
Yeah.
But they don't know that until they are
Yeah.
like halfway through the peel and they're like, oh God, her face is sizzling.
And also, like, if you're not using good skincare and you don't have a good routine and you don't take your makeup off at night, like, what's the point of spending money on this and in a clinic or something
I have
like
a
that?
big thing about taking makeup off.
Yeah.
I give out to all my friends when I see them whip out the makeup wipes, and I'm like,
It's like on Love Island. It's like,
put
what
them
are you
in the
doing?
bin.
Yeah.
So they're all doing it on Love
know.
Island though,
It's
and
really
those
upsetting.
girls now, I get
And that's
it.
a lot of makeup to take off.
They're very young. I
it's
get it. Their
true.
skin like bounces back or whatever because they're only 20. But at the same time, they're all using face wipes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I wonder if
They're probably hashtag spawn.
They are. I think that, yeah.
I feel like it might be because they're not able to use their own cleansers and all this kind of stuff. Like you see the odd bit of beauty products around.
I think it's decanted into like clear bottles.
Clear bottles.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah, that's why I didn't go. You know, I was asked to go to Love Island, but I
Couldn't
didn't
do
go.
it. Couldn't do it.
actually asked to go on
No, I was not. I'm 32. Are you mad?
I'm 32 too. I'm still waiting for the call.
I know, waiting, but I was like,
Yeah.
sorry guys, I can't bring
are
all my cosmetics.
Next
so I
season,
can't
there's
go.
never been anybody 30.
Really?
All
No.
the 28 is like the cusp. 28,
Yeah.
29 at a push,
Yeah.
but 28 is like the cutoff.
Yeah, you
it's my-
can't.
I
I'm
would.
too
It's
old.
my worst nightmare. Just when we were talking about trends, you said SPF, right?
Yeah.
And I read something pretty horrifying on Allure this week that people are doing sunburn tattoos.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
do you remember back in the day, it was like a 90s thing where people had like little cutouts of Playboy bunnies and they were like putting it on their hip and then toasting themselves alive,
It's the craziest thing.
taking it off, and then they'd have a little like unburnt Playboy bunny.
That's sick.
You okay, hon?
It's literally traumatized. But people are doing it like there are companies now selling like sun tattoos that you can like stick on and go out and roast yourself and then peel off, and they almost look like those cool henna tattoos.
So they're doing it for the gram, obviously.
Obviously.
I mean, what a world we live in.
I remember that when I was younger.
So do I.
I feel like that was in the time of like the early 2000s when
Yeah.
everybody was just fucking stupid.
Putting lemon juice in their hair and
Yeah.
all that mad
ironing your
shit.
hair.
Do
Yeah.
you remember
that.
like those friendship burns that we used to give each other?
No.
Oh, this might have just been a weird thing from my area. But
What
like
were they?
some of the boys would get like sticks and would like scrape themselves, and it was just like a friendship thing. Everyone would have these like little, and they would like break
Let's all self-harm together.
break the skin, and yeah, it was just like a weird thing that was happening.
I mean,
kids are weird.
Kids are weird, but I think you can't.
These are adults though.
That's the thing. That's the
Right.
thing, right? And I think you can't say these people are all stupid because
they're
they're
not.
not stupid.
They know exactly
They
what's
know what they're
happening.
doing. They
Yeah.
know. Everybody knows the danger of the sun and UV rays and how terrible it is.
Yeah.
Skin cancer. I have so many people I know
Yeah.
have suffered
it's
with
the
it.
most common
Yeah.
cancer in Ireland, which when
Yeah.
you consider how little sun we
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
is pretty frightening.
But that's because people don't know. Like,
This is
they
it.
don't know about it, and
Yeah.
they don't protect themselves.
They're
and
like,
they don't-
ah, sure, it's overcast. I don't
Sure,
need
it's
to.
grand.
like we're meant to
Yeah.
put on SPF like
Every
every
day.
single day.
Yeah.
Under
But I do
makeup.
think though, just as humans, like we know that we shouldn't do things, but we just do it sometimes. Like, and I
I
think
suppose you're out and you're having a drink and you just have a cigarette. You know it's not good for
it's
you.
like a cognitive dissonance. That's what it's
Yeah.
like. You know you shouldn't do something like smoking. Intelligent people smoke. Why?
Yeah.
You just tell yourself these things in your head.
I
and-
do
The
as well.
sunburn
think-
thing is bizarre.
It's bizarre,
though.
but I
It's
do
also,
think-
it also
Weird.
hurts as well. So I
hurts,
just don't know why
yeah.
anybody would.
Unless
I've
you
had
naturally
burn.
tan, maybe it's like
Yeah.
I absolutely don't.
But it's just the worrying thing is that these are adults.
These
they
are
know.
like working, functioning
Yeah.
members of society who
Most
are
Irish
Yeah.
people don't naturally tan
No.
though.
No.
If you have
hence the fake tan obsession.
exactly, yeah.
Do you think that's why we don't like necessarily lash on the sun cream? Because we're like, when we get a sniff of the sun,
Yeah,
we're like,
100%,
yes.
yeah, we're so
My
excited
parents
by
are
it.
divils for it. Like they,
Yeah.
my dad would have himself covered in olive oil
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
the beach. Like
I
if he
know.
thought it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, when
yeah.
I was younger, and I don't want to like get my friends in trouble, but like we would go to the beach and they would put oil on themselves, and there was no SPF. It was like cooking oil, like
Yeah.
like proper just oil to
baby oil.
to put some chicken in the oven,
Yeah.
and to get that sizzling, crackling
Yeah.
skin. And I would just be like sitting beside them with a full blanket over me because I was so pale and I wasn't risking it
Crisp.
because it was just so painful.
Yeah.
And they would go a very deep dark brown, but like
See, I wouldn't. I would go bright red, and I'd blister, and it would
it
never.
just peels right off.
Yeah, it's never something that I would have even been able to partake in because I don't tan.
I used to tan and now I don't anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. My skin's changed.
Yeah.
And I think because I use so many kind of active products on my face and
Yeah.
my body as well, it made me so much more sensitive.
All the like the retinol and stuff is really
yeah.
But is there ever a time when it's okay to be in the sun? Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's certain doctors that think, you know, because vitamin D comes from the sun.
yeah.
which is good.
Yeah, which is
And
good.
it's great, isn't it great for like psoriasis and stuff?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And there's all sorts of studies out there that show that, you know, spending 10 minutes a day in the sun is actually really good for you.
Yeah.
But it's that kind of fine line. So if you're, you know, if you suffer, you know, with any kind of bone disorders or things like that, or you're older and you need to get more vitamin D into your body, then it's kind of like, well, it is good to be out in the sun. But then you have to, it's like everything in medicine, you kind of have to look in the other side.
Protect
It's like,
yourself,
but you
yeah.
also have to protect yourself because, you know, you could get skin cancer from the UV rays. So there's kind of this little balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting because there's one doctor I know, and she's very much about you don't need to wear sunscreen, and I'm like, Barbara, I don't know.
I don't know,
She
dude.
says you don't need to wear sunscreen.
In a not every day.
Right.
She's like, if you're not in the sun sunbathing, you don't. And
Okay.
I'm like, I kind of get where you're coming from, but then
Yeah.
you have all these other things.
People
that
are like,
you're
put
using.
SPF on every day.
Yeah, and then there's another doctor we work with, Lancer, Dr. Lancer. He's
Love
based in
those
LA.
products.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing. He sees like 40 patients a day, and he's incredible. And his whole ethos is, if you don't need, the only time you don't need sun protection is if you need a flashlight outside, because at every other time you should be.
yeah.
You
So
should be
the
wearing-
UV rays come down through
And
the
the
clouds.
UVB.
everything,
Yeah,
through the window of
everything.
the car, and so yeah, it is interesting. But I think you just have to go with, you know, the advice that most people are given, and it's
majority.
that, you know, just if it's sunny outside and you're going to burn, just put some SPF on.
And some products are now doing like a sort of SPF to protect you from blue light from your laptops and your phones.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, you're not going to get skin cancer through the computer, but it'll damage your
They don't know enough about it yet.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But it kind of, it
Yeah.
can like give you wrinkles and stuff. It like,
I've heard something about like if you're working on a computer all the day, you all the
live
long day,
Yeah.
you should drink like a lot of water.
Yeah.
You're very good at that, Beck.
Yeah.
But you should drink a lot of water because, and I remember reading this and being like, shut up. Okay, sorry, I haven't eaten breakfast. Can you hear my
yeah,
stomach?
I did, yeah.
I need to eat breakfast. Apologies to the lads in the back as well. They're probably like, what is happening inside her body? I'm just hungry, okay? It's just food. But I just remember thinking, absolutely not. That's ridiculous. Why would you need to drink water while looking at tech? But it is
Makes
like,
sense.
So it's
there's just not enough.
HEV light is what they're kind of, that's the sort of
Protecting
buzzword
your
at
phone.
the moment. And it's mobiles, it's your laptop, as you said, Niamh.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I've read some bits about it, and I actually think it can be sort of a bit of a marketing tool.
A gimmick,
Because it's not, yeah, exactly. It
Yeah.
can be used a little bit, because if you're using SPF, that's blocking you from certain rays anyway. And also that has all the antioxidants. So I think you're kind
You're
of
probably
covered.
fine, yeah.
But it is definitely something that we don't know an awful lot about.
Imagine if, like, in 10 years' time, that's going to be like the new SPF thing, and we
Yeah.
all have to wear like
sunglasses
or
and like
umbrellas.
balaclavas
Yeah.
when we're looking at
Because I was in Japan recently, and they're so good
Yeah.
at protecting themselves.
They use, like, umbrellas and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Everywhere they
incredible.
go, they have umbrellas. And like for the first few days, I was like, "Yes, son, get me." But then after a while, I was just like, "Oh my God, shade, please."
Isn't
any
it though
shade.
like a sign of, like, I know in Asia there's a lot of like whitening products, and it's like a
Yes.
sign of wealth
Yes.
to be the paler you are, because if you're tanned, it's like an old school thing where you would have been working outside
in the farm and stuff?
so
Yeah, I saw
literally the less
Yes.
sun you have, the like fancier
Yeah,
you are.
I
Yeah.
saw Louise Cooney was posting a few things
Yeah.
about that, and like I think it might be like bordering on bleaching your skin, which
Yeah.
obviously, like, I don't know anything about that,
Yeah.
but I know that it's controversial and it's really like frowned upon and not good for you, I would imagine. Like,
Doesn't
it can't
sound
be,
good for you.
But yeah, I saw them a lot when I was over there as well.
like, whitening
Very
products.
whitening and brightening products for your skin and
Yeah.
stuff. And I have to say, the Japanese have the most
Flawless.
stunning,
They do, yeah.
really pale, beautiful skin. They always have like a red stain. Like the beauty that's happening in Japan is just stunning. I felt like a
It is
gremlin.
incredible. It is incredible.
Yeah.
And Southeast Asia is incredible for beauty. And
Yeah,
one thing to note
Korea.
about the face kind of brightening and stuff. So the Chinese market is the second biggest luxury beauty market in the world. So, and they are obsessed with that clear
Yeah.
skin and that brightening. And so they kind of would travel to Europe, but also South Korea. And South Korea is incredible, as is Japan
Yeah.
for beauty trends, but they're in very different ways. So South Korea is all about you know, if you're a beautiful person, you're a good person, you know, and, you know, in terms
Okay,
of
so
facial plastic surgery, orthodontics, there's nowhere like it in the world.
The better you look, the better you are.
Yeah, but also
kind of
like
thing.
it is the mecca for beauty in that way. So, you know, I've been a couple of times, and, you know, there's an area called Myeongdong, and it's like a market for masks. It's incredible. But
Is this in South Korea?
in Seoul, yeah.
wow.
So when you're there and you just like look up, you see aesthetics, doctor, orthodontics, like everywhere you go is all about this kind of this incredible kind of, you know, just quest for this perfection, and and they're beautiful people. They're such lovely people, and they just have this goal to look a certain way, and everything, you know, a lot of the innovation in ingredients in skincare and the delivery of ingredients, a lot of it comes from there. But in Japan, I think equally they're obsessive, not in a negative way, but with how good they look. But it's in a slightly different way. It's more of an internal beauty. So it's more about, you know, you hear a lot about, you know, ingestible beauty supplements. It's a different approach to beauty.
They are very fresh and clean, and like they would be like, I would kind of say that it's like, you know, the way in a department store you have the basics section, and it's always just like jeans and a white t-shirt. You've called it like the Vogue uniform before, just very, but so at the same time like clean and crisp and beautiful. And it's so funny that you were saying about South Korea, because I watched a documentary about obviously North Korea, like, but it was all about South Korea and the beauty industry and how massive it is, and also when North Koreans get out of it, there's a group of people in South Korea who like welcome them and like are giving them like little hampers, and in those hampers a lot of the things that they have in there are beauty products, because you would think when you've gone through like the most horrific and like
circumstances,
like awful circumstances, sometimes the women that get out of North Korea, they know about the South Korean beauty market, and all they want is a face mask.
Isn't that? I totally believe it.
Isn't
from
that
that
an amazing
culture?
thing,
I totally
though?
believe that.
I'll send you the link for that
Do
documentary.
actually,
It's so interesting. Like I made Dan watch it when we were in Japan. I was like, we have to watch this. And he's like, what's it about? I was like, it's about beauty, but it's like on another level. Like the things that give you comfort. You know?
But that's what I love about beauty, is that it means something different in every culture, but, you know, it does tie us all together. And I think
it's like a universal language.
Completely. And if you look back at like trends in cleansing our face, it's different in every kind of culture. So, you know, in the US they have all the washes, and in, you know, they have micellar waters in France. In the UK it's all about hot cloth cleansing, and then, you know, India they have like pastes, and but it's something we're all doing it. But it's just different ways. It's just woven into the culture in a different way. So so a bit obsessed with beauty.
Powerful.
It is.
No, it is.
Speaking about beauty standards, right, and Niamh and I were actually discussing it during the week. Carter Beauty Cosmetics did a survey. They surveyed a group of Irish women and found that 56% of Irish women won't leave the house without filling in their brows.
Wow.
Which is just...
I mean...
how far we've come.
It's a massive percentage.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
But that's literally like not even just like going to work or going for drinks. That's like a nipping down to Spar to get a can of Coke. Have to fill the brows in.
Now,
won't leave the house.
I leave the house without my brows filled in to go down to the shops and to do that kind of stuff. Or if I'm working out, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Past tense.
When I used to work out.
When I used to work out, yeah. But in terms of like work and any kind of events and stuff like that, I have come into work without makeup on, but I've never actually come in without like my brows and stuff done. It would definitely be a standard that I would always try and do. But I do think as well, it's because I brutalised my eyebrows in the noughties. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you were a plucker.
Oh, I was a plucker.
A mother plucker.
I was a mother plucker, and they were just gone. And my mother said to me, don't do that, you'll regret it. Same thing when I shaved my legs for the first time. She said, you'll be shaving them for the rest of your life. And I was like, whatever, Mom, I'm 13. You don't know what you're talking about.
Did you have like 3 hairs?
I had no hairs on my legs, like. I used my dad's razor. I was like, get that stuff. There's nothing there. But I just disobeyed them. And she was right. I've been doing it.
See, I did what my mother told me. Well,
and you didn't touch your brows?
Didn't touch my brows. Well, she confiscated the tweezers and I really just didn't have another option.
But see, where there's a will, there's a way. I borrowed my friend's tweezers.
Yeah, I didn't really have the will, to be fair.
Yeah,
I was a real, like, do what your mother tells you.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, she was very right.
It's a good
But you have nice brows. They don't look over-plucked.
Well, they're not because they're filled in.
That's fair. I don't wear makeup to work, so I don't fill my... But I always have my eyebrows tinted. Does that count?
I think so, yeah.
Because I don't fill them in, they're just naturally dyed.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
No, but you're taking the having to fill them
The
in
effort.
out of
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
I would say you're in that 56%.
Yeah, I'm the 56%.
Yeah.
Own it.
Yeah, own it.
I do think it is something about just like, well, for me anyway, with my brows done, I do feel it's kind of like when I get my nails done, or if I like, you know, do a face mask and like get myself sorted on a Sunday night before the week. There is something
You
about
just
me
feel put together.
Feeling like a little bit more put together. Like if
Yeah.
I'm sitting working away at my laptop for hours and my nails aren't done or something like that, like I do feel like I just need them done. Like it's not necessarily about like the aesthetics of it. I don't necessarily care what people think about my nails
Yeah.
or about my eyebrows, but it is just about myself.
And how ready you are. You can like take on
Exactly.
things when you're
I'm like that
Exactly.
about my nails more so than my brows. If my
Yeah.
nails are done, I hate myself. I just can't. I feel
the
really
thing is-
disorganized. I
yeah.
feel scruffy.
Yeah.
Like I
That's
just
exactly
they have
it.
to be done.
Or if I'm going to a meeting or something like that,
Yeah,
like nobody
yeah.
would notice. Although I do
No.
notice people's nails, like
Yeah.
I do. It's just
Yeah.
something that I would notice, but not like a, oh my god, she doesn't have her
I don't
nails
look
done.
at other people. I don't. It's just more. It's just more how I feel.
I just
feel
look at
really
other
unkempt
colours and I'm just like, I want that. Louise at the
Yeah.
moment has a
She has a
beautiful-
great- she's a great
colour on her nails. This is one of the girls who we work with, and yeah, it is. It's like that. I just feel disorganized. I
Yeah.
feel scruffy. I feel like if my nails aren't done, I don't have.
You're
my
not
shit
ready.
to-
You're
I
not
don't have-
ready.
Yeah,
Or whatever
Shit
it
together.
is you're trying
Yeah.
to get to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just kind of a mad, like, is it a beauty standard in Ireland thing? Like, it's kind of hard to know.
I think the women here. I mean, I spend a lot of time in London as well, and I feel like I have to put a bit more effort when I'm out in Dublin than I do in London.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even down to like the clothes you wear. Like when
Yeah.
I have a good few friends that live in London, and when I go there, I'm like, oh, when we go out on a night out tonight, I can wear trainers.
Yeah.
Praise Jesus.
Yeah.
When did that happen? Like, why has that happened in our
I don't
in our
know.
society?
I blame Geordie Shore.
Do you think? Really?
No, I don't really. But I think there's definitely, like, I even notice when I have friends visiting from the States and stuff, they're like, you guys wear a shit ton of makeup.
Yeah, we do.
We love makeup though.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for that too. Like I love nothing more than if I have like 2 hours to get ready for something, I will sit there and I will enjoy every second
Yeah.
until I have to get to the liquid eyeliner, then I'll dial.
But there's the other thing of like, you know, we were talking about the way that Japanese women and stuff like feel that really kind of inner beauty and stuff, and they love being like pale and stuff. I do feel like they're naturally enhancing the attributes that they already have.
Yeah.
Whereby with us,
We're not.
We're trying to like slather ourselves in fake
Fake tan.
tan. Like we put on a huge amount of makeup as well. Like if I'm going to an event, I definitely put on more makeup than I would normally. And you know,
Even down to like hair extensions, eyelash
but the thing,
extensions,
it's
nail
kinda-
extensions.
It's kind of sad though, because like if we were to think of what the classic Irish beauty look is, it is
Maureen
actually-
O'Hara.
But it's fresh face.
Yeah.
It's almost like it is pale skin,
Porcelain.
dark hair, like maybe green eyes. I don't know who I'm describing here, Maura Higgins maybe. But like it is.
She wears a lot of makeup.
She does wear a lot of makeup. I just don't know. Like, I mean, what would you say would be like our look that we have? Because like around the world, people say like, oh, beautiful Irish women, and I'm just like, we all look kind of
The same.
well, not that we look the same, but like I just can't I can't define what that look is.
I think there's definitely a look, but I don't think any of us necessarily emulate it in a way. I think there's like an old school classic, like Irish Colleen, Galway girl kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But
That's no makeup though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I think there's definitely an actual look that
Yeah.
involves like heavy foundation, heavy bronzer
Yeah.
Insta
We're the
brows.
highest users of foundation per
In-
capita as well.
in the world,
In
yeah.
the world.
I gotta cover that shit up.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it though.
No. I love it, but I love makeup,
I see it as
so-
a hobby. You
Yeah.
know, I love it. You know, I'm not so much into makeup, but you know, I am obsessed with skin, hair, body
Yeah.
stuff. I just love it. Like
The
how
whole-
are
And the thing
you?
is as well, if it does make us feel better, like if I'm
Why not?
if I go to an event, and sometimes this does happen, like after work, or whatever, we'll go to one, and if like there is a little bit of comparing because I'm human. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes I look at people, I'm like, oh my god, they look incredible.
Yeah.
Now whether it's their circumstance, they had hours to get ready or whatever, but I always feel better about myself when I have fake tan on, like
Yeah.
100%. I just
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
I'll never deny that. Like
No.
I literally feel much better
Yeah.
when I got a little bit of
Yeah,
glow.
sure, I'm going
Yeah.
away in 3 weeks and I already have my spray tan booked. First thing I did after I booked flights, like,
Yeah.
because I was like, there's no way I am getting into a swimsuit
Yeah.
without a lick of tan.
But that's
Yeah.
okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know. Because then, speaking of Maura Higgins, there's been quite a lot of controversy around Love Island and the standards in terms of beauty that they've set.
Yeah.
I don't watch it, however, I am quite well informed
Yeah.
given my place of work.
Why don't you watch it? Like, what's going on in your life that you don't have time for?
She's just so busy.
I'm actually straight up not. I'm just
I just don't like
so
it.
busy.
no. It's funny. I'm actually really enjoying the chat at the desk around it, but it's just I just never got into it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's every night of the week, and I'm like, that's a lot.
I like miss having free time, I have to say.
Yeah.
You're watching it, yeah?
Yeah, God, yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only kind of reality show. I'm not into the Kardashians or any of that, but it's the only reality show I watch, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
It's just
I
great.
act like we've
I just love.
Yeah, we've talked about it though, and we've been like, I don't hate on Love Island. I'm not one of those people who's like, it's for idiots. It's not.
But I think the look that they have is very much something that we emulate here.
Yeah,
I
in
think
terms
so,
of the eyelash extensions, the hair extensions, the long
brows.
nails, the brows,
Yeah.
the full tan. Like the bodies of them are unbelievable.
This is the thing, right?
Like-
the bodies, right? I have a concern about the bodies because they all look the exact same.
Yeah.
They've all got huge boobs,
Yeah.
slamming bods,
Yeah.
They do all that,
skinny.
yeah.
They're very slim and muscly and stuff, and I'm like, where is everybody else?
Because they're 20, that's why. Do you
I
know
did
what
not
mean?
look like that when I was
never
20.
looked like that when I was 20 either, but like...
Fact.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
There
is.
is youth. There's obviously surgery as well. Like, let's not lie. I mean, like
Yeah.
Megan, what's her face from last year,
Barton
was very,
Hanson.
was very open about the
Yeah.
fact that she'd had like 14 or 15 surgeries and she was only 24. Do you know, like, and that's like nose, chin, jaw shaved, and then that's just on the face. Then there's obviously like boobs, ass, waist, and like people are open about it. So I get it, but I don't know where they get the fucking money to do that.
I just think as well, it's like some of them like are having a really terrible time. Like so just because they look great, it doesn't mean their life's not still a bit
is true.
shit and
know.
men
Yeah.
aren't crap and you know they're
'cause
still
we know men aren't.
falling out with friends totally like so I think I get it, but like also it's a TV show, you know, they have to put people that are
Yeah.
like really attractive on or whatever.
That's what the creative director of the
Yeah.
show said. He was basically
Yeah.
like, at the end of the day, I need them to fancy each other, which was a
Yeah.
real kick in the dick for people that don't look like that.
Well, we
I
all
know,
we
like-
all inhaled like at the desk when that came out because it was like kind of towards the beginning of the show.
People were just hating on him, hating on the show for basically being like, the cast had been announced, I think, and people were like, you know, why is there no one over size 10? Why is there no one who's 5'1"? Like
I thought-
they're all the same height, the
Yeah.
same build, the
They
same.
thought
Like there's
Anna was like the plus sized girl.
yeah, absolutely
and
not.
we were like, what?
Yeah.
She's not plus size at all. Like,
There's
her
no
waist
one
is
with like a flat chest, or there's you know, there's
Yeah.
just it's not even like there's no big girls and everyone's skinny. There's actually just no diversity at all.
yeah.
Do you know, there's never. I don't think there's been an Asian contestant
Yeah.
or like an Indian. You know,
Yeah.
So I do think, but then he came out and he was like, basically, you know, they have to fancy each other. It's the premise of the show.
Which, like, on the one hand, I'm like,
He makes a
fair,
point.
Like, a little bit. I get that. Like, if all of these kids were thrown into, like, a nightclub, do you know what I mean? Like, they would probably all go for each other realistically. So they do have to think about the production of the show. But yeah, like, obviously, and actually, funny enough, when I was watching it there last night, go watch Love Island. I've got a text, our Love Island
Please like and
podcast.
subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. I can't talk, that's why. Because I was up very early. So Belle, who's going out with Anton.
Yeah.
Like, when she is fresh-faced without a lick of makeup and
Flawless.
without her eyelash extensions, I was actually like, oh my God, she is absolutely stunning. Now, that's because she's 20 as well. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, if I was to have a full face of makeup like that and then I would take it off, I do feel like I would be catfishing somebody. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whereby she is stunning
Yeah.
without all of her makeup as well. And I do like that she's on camera like that too.
But
at
again,
times.
does she have like? She takes off her makeup, sure, but she probably has like the best spray tan money can buy, HD brows, lash extensions,
Also, sorry, they're getting top-ups in there. They've been in there
They
for
do.
7
No, they
weeks.
do.
lip filler,
Yeah, they
hair
do.
extensions.
getting
You
lip
would
filler
look good too.
top-ups,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
You would look good
You would.
if you had
Okay.
all that assistance.
Come here, how about Ovie though?
So I feel like, again, not watching it, but I'm like, isn't he?
obsessed. I
Isn't
think he's
he? I
amazing.
feel like he's the king of Love
I think he's
Island.
amazing.
Ovie the Moon.
Oh God.
I think he's just a perfect man. I think
Stand
he's
by that.
fabulous.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's so funny. He's obviously just ridiculously attractive.
He's
as
super,
well.
super, super hot.
But
Yeah.
he's so hot. Like, I was looking at him when he was up there doing the little kissy with
Yeah.
India up in the terrace. I
Yeah.
don't know why I said
The
kissy.
little kissy.
And he just had like a little wry smile on his
Yeah,
face.
and
I
he
was
was
like, Hollywood star. It's a like, you look like a movie
I know,
star.
I know. He was kind of looking at her from the side. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
And then he'll just come out with chats and banter.
Yeah.
and,
He also
and
has a
jokes.
great selection of outfits.
I'm like, where do they make men like that?
Sorry,
That's
they
ridiculous.
don't.
They
He's
don't.
one of a kind.
He is one of a
No.
kind.
And he's so tall.
I feel
which
like
is my favourite thing.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
I wouldn't be able to talk to him though. You know, like sometimes, you know, when someone is just
You'd have
too
to get a little
beautiful.
step ladder to have a chat with them,
Aside
first
from
of all.
the immediate height discrepancy, I don't think I would actually be able to like look him in the eye because it's almost like looking at the sun. I'd be like,
Yeah.
too
He's
beautiful.
like an Adonis.
Too beautiful.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
is
yeah.
like an Adonis.
Yeah.
And that's just for me. I don't even think I've heard him speak. That's just for me, like looking at like stills of him, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's so funny as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. Who do
he
you want to
is.
win? Sorry, we'll talk about beauty in a
Sorry,
second.
yeah.
No, I'm happy enough.
It's
to-
kind of beauty related.
Yeah.
Who do I want to win? Well, Ovie just because he's amazing,
yeah.
but also, you know, the thing is, I'd say Molly and Tommy will probably win because they've been together. I think they're cute as well.
I think they're cute. I'm super
they a little
bored
dull?
of- I'm
I mean,
bored-
the
I'm bored of
IQ
them.
between them now, I
Yeah,
don't know.
no,
I think
that's
they're going to struggle. Which is
That's the one consensus at the
day-to-day
desk.
life.
I've been like, what's Tommy like? And they're like, he comes across a little dim.
But
Yeah, like we had Louise
Yeah.
O'Neill, you know, the author on the
Yes,
Love
yeah,
Island
yeah.
show, and she came on and she was just chatting about it. We didn't know that she was a fan of the show,
Yeah.
like slightly off brand. I didn't
Yeah.
really like kind of make that connection. She loves it. She's watching it all the time.
Yeah.
And she came on and she literally just said about Tommy, she was like, now he's not the brightest, let's be honest. And it's so true. Like he's just
But he takes punches to the head. You
Yeah.
know, it's
that's
he's
worrying.
had a few funny one-liners though. I mean, but like they're lovely people. Like,
Yeah.
they're great.
He does this thing when he laughs, which annoys me though. He goes like this. I don't really want to do it because we're on camera, but he just goes for ages
yeah,
when he laughs. It would piss me off. I'd be
Yeah.
like, stop doing that with your mouth. I
Yeah.
can't believe that's on camera. Innit?
And what do we think of Michael and Amber in that latest episode?
did they get back together?
No.
So Michael has turned around and
Yeah.
said that he likes Amber
Again.
even though
Yeah.
he like 2 days ago blatantly was like, sorry, this is going out next week. So like last week he was like blatantly, I don't like you, and he was so crude about it, and he was really
Didn't
savage.
he like accused everyone in the house of being immature and stupid or something?
Childish, yeah.
Childish.
Saying everyone's childish. Yeah. But so he's changed his mind. He's into
Yeah.
Amber again, and he's let her know.
Amber
Weirdly
is
enough-
absolutely
Oh,
stunning.
she's stunning. But at the time when
She was
Superstar
so
Greg
hurt.
comes in,
She was so hurt. Like
was
Amber was
so
so
hurt,
hurt,
yeah.
and I just felt for her. I was like, you know, you get these guys that are just totally like they get in your head, and you're like,
Yeah.
what was that? Did I just make that up? That you
Yeah.
liked
What's
me?
it
That
called?
we had
Some
gaslighting.
But that's
it is
why
so frightening.
That's why she's gonna go back to him, because I saw her smile when he came over and was like
Yeah.
talking to her, because even though she's gonna be like, oh, you think you can get back with me that easy, da 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 da, like she's
100%
I think
gonna do
she's
it.
going to like almost pretend that she's being the strong independent woman.
Yeah.
I think she's going to go back to him, because we've all been that girl when that guy who you shouldn't get back with calls you,
Yeah.
and it's like they have like old school beeper styles, like, oh my god, is that person about to be happy with someone else? Better give her a call.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the next thing you're like, oh, gotta go. Why? I've got someone who's probably gonna fuck me up and break my heart, but like, it'll be good fun for a while.
It is what it
Some sort
is.
of- yeah, it is. It's like some sort of addiction or something.
It
It's just
is,
like,
yeah.
You can't, yeah, but yeah, it's.
And I don't know
it's
whether
upsetting to
I don't know
watch.
whether Michael is like a bad guy deep down. He's 28.
Or is he just being
I-
perceived as a bad guy?
Is he just in the race for romance as well? Like, I do think he's 28. I think that he should know better than to treat a
Yeah.
really young and impressionable woman like that. But like, maybe he's telling the truth. I don't know. But
I'm Team Greg.
I know he's great, isn't he?
I love Greg. Yeah, I can't wait for him to do the tour of all the nightclubs and all.
We'll have to get him in here.
too.
Oh, we
Greg,
will.
if you're listening.
Yeah, we'll get him in. We'll
yeah,
get him
he's
in.
super cute.
For
He is
sure,
cute.
yeah.
I just love. I'm like him and Maura need to get together
Yeah.
and win.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Love art.
Anyway, to wrap
Sorry.
it up, right? We're gonna play a game. Another
Okay.
game. It's Beauty Would You Rather.
Okay.
This is gonna be hard, I feel.
Some of them are harder than others, but we'll see now. It'll be interesting. Okay. So, would you rather never be able to fill your brows in again or never wear tan again?
That's the hardest question anybody has ever asked me. I'm not being dramatic.
I'd say I'd rather live without brows than tan.
Okay. Can I tint and can I?
No. Your brows are just au natural.
I'd live without tan.
Would you?
I think so. Yeah.
I'd live without the brows.
Yeah.
100.
I try and do the Emma Stone pale
Pale thing. You'd rock the pale look.
I'd try.
Kimberly from Girls Aloud.
I'd try my best.
Yeah.
But with rockin' brows.
I just feel like I'm too chubby to not ever have tan in my life.
Stop it!
No, I just you need it. Yeah, you just need a little bit.
A zhuzh. If I tanned naturally, it would be easy.
So glad this. Yeah, maybe I would just like keep the brows and then go live in Spain.
Do the beds.
Yeah,
Don't do the
carefully.
beds, they're
though.
bad for you.
Lots of SPF.
Would you rather have free makeup for life or free skincare for life? That's
Free
an easy
skincare,
one for
obviously.
you.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the best at skincare, but I am getting used to it now.
You probably would be better if it was all free.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, like I definitely wear makeup every day, so probably makeup.
Yeah.
We're different.
I do skincare as well.
Yeah, you would definitely.
I don't wear makeup
Yeah.
Monday to Friday, except for today being the exception.
Yeah.
Would you rather have perfect clear skin or a glowing natural tan?
Glowing natural tan.
Yeah, same.
And it's only because I'm quite blessed and I've never had a huge amount of problems with my skin. So I feel like my skin in this state is kind of okay. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Are you telling me that I'll have acne though?
No, just, I don't really know. Perfect clear skin or your normal. So you'd have your normal skin now
Yeah.
and a natural tan, or like the world's most flawless skin and your normal skin color.
Okay, I'm happy with my skin. So
You picked the tan.
I picked the tan.
Yeah, I might pick the tan as
I'd
well.
pick the tan
yeah.
too. Yeah. We all have nice skin.
We're grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
We're doing okay. Would you rather always have the perfect manicure or a full perfect set of fluffy eyelashes?
Oh, manicure, easy. I don't do the lash
I
thing
pick the
anymore.
lashes.
Yeah, manicure. Although I used to have, I love getting my lashes done, but you know the way it takes like an hour and a half.
And
I
you
feel like
lie
you have
there.
to have a connection with that person.
Yeah.
I
And
fall
she can never
asleep
fit me in
usually.
anymore, so I just find it weird lying there
Yeah.
with somebody
It happened-
that close to
yeah.
me for an hour and a half.
At
and not
Christmas-
talking.
It's very intense.
It's very intimate.
At Christmas, I got mine done, and thankfully I was in a salon where I know the girls, and I fell asleep, but the phone rang in the salon, and whatever happened, I like sprang up like a bat out of hell, and the glue went everywhere, and I was like, ah!
That was just really
There were
stingy.
other people in the salon, and
Oh
I
my
like just
gosh.
literally like leapt up off the chair when the phone
I
rang.
always fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I feel like I know this is gonna sound like weird and stuff, but I feel like sometimes they don't mind if you
I
don't talk to
know,
them
yeah,
either,
I
and it's
know.
just
'Cause
like
they're
okay,
busy doing their thing.
They're doing their
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. But I do think that the eyelash extensions, like the really big, crazy, fluffy ones, are going to be one of those beauty trends that we look back
And
on
are like,
in
what the
20 years
hell?
and like, why were women going around with tarantulas?
Yeah, they look
on
silly.
their eyes. Like, yeah.
I
If you
get
get a nice
the-
natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I get
nice.
the lash lift.
Oh yeah,
And I'm
nice.
Obsessed
Yeah.
with it.
I don't think it's worth the money.
I am obsessed with it.
Had
I
it
love
done once, it's grand, but I think
Maybe didn't get it done in the right place. We'll
No,
talk.
I got it done in a
the
good place,
place.
and it was really nice for a few days. But like honestly, I think an eyelash curler does kind of the same thing.
Eyelash curlers freak me out. Anyway, would you rather free lipstick for life or free mascara for life?
Mascara.
Mascara. God, I've only recently discovered how important that is. It's really
I
important.
don't know what I'd pick. Probably lipstick.
I'm more of a
Where are we
lip-
getting all this free stuff from?
Hypothetically. Okay. Would you rather, this one I found the toughest,
Okay.
which is why I put it last, but in hindsight, the first one might have been tougher. Would you rather have free blow dries for life or free waxing for life? So you can go in every single day and get your hair blow dried, or you can get everything on your body waxed for whatever.
I've never had a wax, so
Or laser.
or laser.
Yeah, hair removal, we'll call it.
I would probably go with free hair removal for life.
Would you?
Yeah, I can do my own hair.
I can do
like-
my own hair.
I can't. I picked blow dries big time.
Really?
Big time. Yeah.
yeah,
I
no.
sleep with a plait in my hair.
But
That's
also
the extent of my
laser is
abilities.
expensive as well.
And
though.
painful.
And painful. But if it's
And it
free.
doesn't last.
And it doesn't last. But
I've
if
never
it's
had
free,
laser.
It's good. But
I know
it doesn't last.
For
You
some
need
people,
top-ups.
I know some friends that, and obviously I've got really hairy friends. Like, no, they
We're
have
all
like
hairy.
conditions.
They've darker hair
They've darker
and
hair
pa-
conditions, and
yeah.
it's made such an incredible impact on their life now that
Yeah.
they don't need to worry about certain things. But I think unless you're super, super hairy, I just think it's going to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do need to be dark as well, I think. 'Cause I've
Yeah.
had a few blonde friends.
Dark
who've done
hair,
it, and
pale
like, yeah,
skin is
dark
the
hair,
ideal
pale skin,
scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still does need top-ups, though.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks, guys. That is a wrap on this show. Thank you for listening. And if you want to find out more about Fetch Beauty, which you should because it's so good, you can find it on fetchbeauty.com. And they also have a very, very delicious Instagram, which is at Fetch Beauty?
At Fetch Beauty Edit.
At Fetch Beauty Edit. It's so chic, honestly. It's like the most aesthetically pleasing Instagram you've ever
thanks.
seen. It's, yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, do. Thanks, guys.